Hey Libra, how are you guys? Welcome or welcome back to the House of Luminance. Libra, I know it's been a while, but we're going to go ahead and jump right on into your love energies, okay? So this is between you and the person that you hold most in your heart space and in your mind space, okay, Libra? Between you and that person, whoever that is to you, we're going to get into it right now, all right? Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, as well as anyone here who may be dealing with a Libra or have dealt with a Libra, and you're here checking out the energy. This could be your message. What are the energies for Libra in romance? What's going on with the energy for Libra? All right. Okay, Libra. We have a crossroads here. All right. So, Libra, you got some choices to make for sure. Okay. Things could go, it feels as though, the energy here suggests that things can go either way, you know? Okay. And so it could indicate to me as well, like with that being said, like something maybe like up in the air. Okay. Or maybe you're waiting on a decision or something like that. Let's see. All right. Under the deck, we also have lessons. Okay, Libra. So, yeah. So, Libra, I think that many of you during this time, whenever you're watching this, you could be learning some tough lessons right now, especially when it comes to love and romance. Okay, I feel like with this energy, Libra, you and your person, there's a moment where someone needs to grow and the other needs to go. I don't know. I don't know why that. I don't know why. I have a tendency to make stuff rhyme if it makes sense. Anyways, I digress. Libra, yeah. So it's like one person wants to go one path, another person wants to go another path, but neither of you feel as though the other person's path is in alignment with you. Maybe okay, that could be something there to think about. Okay, here the lesson here could be Libra in how you handle the situation. The lesson, honestly, Libra as well could be, what have you learned in this relationship up to now? Because there's a choice to make, Libra. Are you going to walk your own path, or are you going to join them on theirs? And then if you decide to join them on their path, what does that mean for you and the lessons that you need to learn? Okay, and your growth. Okay, Libra? I'm curious to see what's under lessons here. Okay, unawakened, yeah. So Libra, so we have lessons and then unawakened was the next card. So it feels like, yeah, Libra, someone is growing in a direction. Someone is growing in a direction that the other person just cannot go. They can't, you can't take everybody everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Understanding. And I think that that's what you're coming to an understanding of about now, Libra. Fear. Yeah. Free will. Okay. So, let's see here. Can you guys see that? So, yeah, Libra, the energy, it does feel pretty tough here between the two of you because I feel like one person is afraid to let the other person go. However, the other person is afraid of who they'll become if they stay. And so this crossroads here that the relationship is at, is where you two need to meet in the middle and have some sort of understanding here. If there is any understanding, because, you know, somebody is unawakened. So it's telling me here that somebody cannot see something a certain way. It's almost like someone it's almost like someone can't see the forest for the trees. Let's go ahead and clarify with some tarot. Energy here for Libra in their person. Let's go ahead and clarify. Something that just stuck out to me here. If it's like someone is shrouded like in darkness, so somebody's actually like going through, like, I feel like some sort of dark energy right now. Maybe somebody is working on their shadow side. Okay, somebody's doing some shadow work, whether it's you or them, maybe possibly the both of you. All right. All right, Libra. So, okay. So the Two of Wands. Yeah. I mean, talk about the crossroads, right? Like it kind of is a reiteration of that, right? Where Libra, you're at this point right now where you have a choice. You know, you can, again, like I said, you can choose to be like that staff on the right and just be there, or you can be the staff on the left and choose to take a journey, or to choose to move forward into the world, right? And like have experiences, right? So it's almost like you're just kind of you're I envision it almost kind of being like you're at the window, or you're at the edge of like your porch, or you're at the edge of something, and you're wanting something different, but at the same time there's this hesitation because there's maybe this fear of what that change will actually look like. Okay, so we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so there is some communication here. This Knight of Swords to me kind of feels like there's this sense of urgency here that somebody has, Libra. Some sort of urgency to move forward. Somebody's communicating like, okay, well, I'm gonna make a move. I don't want to be just sitting here. Like I'm gonna make a move. I'm gonna make a choice. You know, and that could be you, Libra. You could be the person saying like, all right, I'm about to make a choice. I'm about to move in a different direction. You know what I mean? And I feel like, Libra, that, you know, that the fact that you can do that probably scares that person. Yeah. The Eight of Pentacles. So, yeah, Libra, listen, look, it's not like you're just trying to move in a whole nother direction just to be moving funny. It's like you're not trying to do that. You have clearly a path that's cut out for you, and you see it and you want to work towards it. Okay? Now, what that means for you and for this situation here, Libra, is that this is going to require you to you may be a little bit removed from this relationship. You may not necessarily be so invested during this time, and not necessarily because you don't want to be, but because what you're trying to accomplish is just going to require a lot of your time. Okay? And so it's like you already know this, which is why you're trying to make communication to this person like, all right, and this doesn't necessarily mean that there's a separation here on the horizon, right? I mean, it's just that you two can still be together. Okay, it's just that there's just personal work, right? Personal stuff that you have to work on. Okay. It doesn't mean that that person can't be supportive. Yes, they may have some fears, because what if that means that, they don't know what that means, why you're going to be away from them. Okay. They maybe don't necessarily get it yet. Okay. But they will understand. Okay. And then also it would just, I don't know what I'm saying. It would be to their best interest to, do the same thing. Take inspiration from the fact that, Libra, you're actually trying to move forward and work on something, and take it to where you would love to take it to. Yeah, the Magician. Yes, you're Libra. You're feeling like this is your time. You're feeling like this is your moment. You're feeling like you've got the juice. You know what I mean? And that's fine to feel like that. Okay, because it's you being passionate here about what you feel like you can contribute to the world. It feels like maybe, Libra, your work is like in line with your purpose, and that's how you want to move. You want to move with purpose, and you want to move in your purpose. And so any relationships that you have in the current, it's like, all right, we gotta figure something out, because of all the reasons I just said. So under the deck here is the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, so Libra, I think that I think that you've allowed, your community, people in your community, to inspire you to be better, to build better, right? You may even have people that would like to collaborate with you, in seeing your goal come to fruition. Okay, if this is something like material, right? But just even on a like a inner working self, right? You may find people kind of that are into the same things that you're into, and so you're able to help each other. Maybe, okay, you're able to challenge each other to like be better, because y'all are on the same wavelength. Now, this may be somebody outside of who you are dealing with here in this relationship, but it doesn't, it feels platonic. It's nothing to worry about, nothing for nobody to worry about. It's just somebody who shares a similar interest with you, that can actually relate to you in what you're trying to build. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get some more clarification here. This doesn't feel like a bad reading at all, Libra. It really feels quite, it feels quite much like, the relationship is actually, it just feels more so like any relationships you're having are more so just gonna kind of be there. Like, you can be here when I get back, but I got stuff to take care of. All right. And, it's like you're kind of expecting your person to allow you to go ahead and take care of the things that you need to take care of. Your person's just gonna have to, they're just gonna have to, self-soothe themselves sometimes. Or, busy themselves with their own shadow work, or their own things that they need to, take care of in their life. All right. Okay. So we have the Five of Wands coming out here. Now, Libra, this Five of Wands energy here is making me feel as though you're frustrated, with like where you're at right now, like in life. Like, of course, that there's opportunities for you to have better, and you want to move forward in that. I think that you're just kind of frustrated right now with where your life is, and you're just ready to do something about it, even if that means fighting yourself out of whatever box that you think you're in right now. Like, I think that you want to do something about it. Okay. Yes. Oh wow. So now we have the Five of Cups. Hmm. Yeah, I feel like I feel like this Five of Cups like represents like a sacrifice in a way. Okay, Libra, like I said, you are gonna have to sacrifice time here within this, with this relationship. You may be feeling the need to withdraw or take some time to yourself during whatever this growth period is for you. All right, and again, like I said, your person is just gonna have to understand, and it may even they may not even like it. Right, they may not like those words that you're having to say. This is doesn't I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it doesn't feel like a break up. It just feels like, somebody is trying to make their own personal breakthrough and it's separate than the relationship. So if there's any disconnection felt, it feels as though that's the reason why. Okay, strength. Yeah. Yeah, this is not easy. Okay? But the strength energy here, none of this is easy on either side for either person. None of this is easy. However, with the strength into the magician, I do feel like that strength card with the magician, even though this is not easy, you have the tools to be able to manage the situation. Okay. So, of course, yes, you will need to probably check in with your person every once in a while, right? Because you know that will make them feel better. That will make them feel more at ease. Okay. But ultimately, the understanding here is that Um, and again, this understanding card is key. Like, of course, again, the understanding card here is that that person just needs to, just know that everything is fine. You're just a little bit at a distance from one another. Okay, here the moon. Yeah, but see, that person is a little bit afraid of what's going on, like when they're not around. Or maybe you, Libra, right? You could be afraid of what's going on when they're not around, when you're not there to see. Okay. And that could be just a little bit of why maybe you feel a little bit anxious to maybe do something different as well. Because you're like, well, if they're distracted, then maybe I should be distracted. You understand what I'm saying? So this moon card to me also suggests here that along your journey, Libra, along this growth journey, right, you may encounter your own fears in the dark. But you do have the strength, like you do have the wherewithal to be able to confront that, because this is this may be for your own awakening, right? This may be your own, you may be having your own wake up calls going off right now. All right, so under the deck now here, yeah, we have the Ten of Wands. Okay, so listen, Libra, this Ten of Wands to me brings relief, you know, somewhere finally. And I think the relief comes in where you decide to finally, like, make the choice and move forward towards your own progression. Okay, the things that you leave behind will be there when you're ready to pick those things back up. And if they're not, then that's okay. That just means that they have their own path to walk down as well, just as you. Okay. However, either way, Libra, I feel like you can be assured here that you definitely do have the tools to be able to stand in this alone if you need to walk forward alone here. But I don't think that your person or whoever this is that's close to you, I don't think that they're necessarily too far removed, right? To me, like this looks like parallel paths. So it looks like the both of you have the same road work, right? Listen, it feels like there's a high road here and a low road. So if there's any sort of disagreement here when it comes to this conversation that the two of you are going to be having, I definitely feel like it is important for you to take the high road here, Libra. Okay, I just felt the need to say that because I noticed that here. But What was I gonna say? The other message, I had to get it out, and so it threw my guard off. All right, let's get into it. Let's see what this person may have to say to you during this time, or if there's any period of them feeling like they can't say something to you or something like that. I don't know. I just get this feeling where this person is just afraid that they're going to be separate from you. But really, the both of you are going through y'all's own parallel journeys. Okay, so let's see what messages may be available to the both of you to help sustain you both. Oh, look at there. All right, so we have, I want to be authentic. I am no longer afraid. Oh, look at there. Fear, right? Did we just say fear? But now someone is saying, I want to be authentic. I'm no longer afraid. So I think Libra, okay, let me get into the other card. Hold on. It says it's easier to just stay away right now. Okay. So yeah, so Libra, I feel like in the beginning of this, this path that the two of you are having to walk down separately, right, in your own personal growths, I feel like there's a moment where it is easier to just stay away right now. Again, I spoke earlier about how someone maybe can't see the forest for the trees, right? So they can't see how the separation here isn't like an actual separation. It's more like, just, like I said, just personal work. And someone maybe takes that they take offense to that because they're fearing the worst, right? So they may be upset. They may be saying it's just easier to stay away because they cannot see. Okay, but I do feel like along both of y'all's along each individual. Why can I not talk? Jesus. Along both of y'all's individuals' journey, this person, as they're working on themselves, begins to not be afraid either. Okay. And so this is actually a very beautiful message, Libra. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here, but let me know how it's working out in the comment box below. Thank y'all so much for your time if you made it this far. You guys have a great day. Bye.